What if the real shock of Bad Moms wasn't moms behaving badly? Today we're unpacking how this comedy flips the script on what women actually need to survive the chaos. Amy Mitchell looks like she's living the suburban dream. Big house, 2 kids, stable job, decent marriage. But in reality, she's exhausted. She's the one making organic lunches, dragging the dog to the vet, attending PTA meetings, and even doing her son's homework while her husband Mike spends his days in sweatpants, sipping coffee and working on his laptop. When Amy catches him in the middle of an online affair, her whole life comes crashing down. If that wasn't enough, Amy's world is ruled by the PTA queen herself, Gwendolyn James. Gwendolyn enforces rules like homemade nut-free, gluten-free bake sale items with the smug smile of someone who thrives on other people's stress. Backed up by her icy sidekicks, Gwendolyn represents the impossible standards that Amy and every mom in her orbit is supposed to live up to. It's all too much, and that's exactly when Amy finds herself in a bar with 2 women who will change everything. Carla is the unapologetic single mom who shows up late, flirts with bartenders, and laughs at the idea of homework. Kiki is her polar opposite, a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids and a husband who treats her like his personal assistant. Amy is somewhere in the middle, trying to hold everything together. On paper, these women couldn't be more different, but over a few drinks and some very loud venting, they find common ground in their frustration. They're tired of trying to be perfect, tired of competing, tired of living under the gaze of people like Gwendolyn. This is where Bad Moms reveals its true heartbeat. The friendship between Amy, Carla, and Kiki isn't about fixing each other, it's about giving each other permission to fall apart. And it's this dynamic that turns the movie from just another raunchy comedy into something more meaningful. Take the grocery store scene. On the surface, it's just 3 moms letting loose, dancing in slow motion, smashing products, and swigging drinks like they're in college again. But the scene works because it's less about rebellion against rules and more about women reclaiming joy in each other's company. It would be easy to say the villain of Bad Moms is Gwendolyn, with her Botox smile and clipboard of rules, but she's actually just a symptom. The real antagonist is the culture of isolation and judgment that pits women against each other. Gwendolyn isn't evil because she wants gluten-free cupcakes. She's evil because she's weaponized female friendship, turning school mom solidarity into a popularity contest. Her power comes from exclusion, not connection. That's why the film's climax isn't about Amy becoming a better mom, it's about her rejecting competition altogether. When she runs for PTA president, her campaign isn't a manifesto on parenting philosophy, it's a plea for moms to cut each other some slack. Her big speech resonates because she finally says what everyone's been too afraid to admit: nobody has it together, and that's okay. Even Gwendolyn's eventual breakdown fits the theme. Once we see past her polished exterior, it's clear her perfectionism is fueled by loneliness. If she'd had a friendship like Amy, Carla, and Kiki's, she might never have become the PTA tyrant in the first place. Of course, critics had a field day with Bad Moms. Some loved its Moms Gone Wild energy, while others dismissed it as a shallow knockoff of The Hangover, not surprising since it was written by the same duo. They pointed out that the women's rebellion was mostly tame drinking, partying, and skipping chores, and that Amy's picture-perfect suburban life didn't exactly scream relatable. But here's the thing, the film still stumbled into something true. Its best scenes aren't the wild parties or crude jokes, they're the moments where the women actually talk. When Amy admits she's terrified of failing her kids, or when Kiki finally stands up to her husband, those moments feel real. That honesty, that vulnerability is what makes their friendship so great to watch. At its core, Bad Moms isn't about being bad at all. It's about refusing to buy into a system that profits from women's guilt and competition. Amy, Carla, and Kiki show that solidarity is more powerful than judgment. Their friendship is the real rebellion. It proves that surviving motherhood or womanhood, period, isn't about perfection. It's about finding people who let you be messy, vulnerable, and real. Because underneath the raunchy humor and slow-motion montages, Bad Moms is really telling us something simple. Sometimes the wildest rebellion isn't breaking the rules, it's refusing to go through it all alone. This is Ladies First, watching women in movies. Here we empower women by reviewing and discussing films that highlight their stories, struggles, and achievements. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.